abuse often circles and generates through bloodlines. Entire families are affected by abuse. And it gets to the point where the families don't realize that they are being abused because it's become normal to them. Growing up in a home with parents that scream constantly is normal. And so when they grow up and they get married, they're going to raise their children in a home where they're screaming constantly. Growing up in a home where the police are there many nights in a row is normal. So that'll be what happens when they grow up. Growing up in a house where there's alcohol abuse is regular. That's going to be normal. Growing up in abuse where drugs are normal. That's going to be normalized. In these babies' minds, they're going to think that this kind of behavior is okay. The hitting, the screaming, the stealing, the drugs, the constant berating of anybody who upsets you in the slightest. You do it, the parents do it to one child, that one child grows up, has children, does it to them, those children grow up, have children, do it to them, and it just keeps cycling. And the baby daddies might escape, but the kids are fucked because they don't even understand that what they're learning is wrong. I didn't understand until I was an adult that my grandmother giving me her Xanax when I was 13 was not the right way to handle the situation. I should have been seeing my own doctor. I should have been given my own medications if I required those medications. But that would have required me to talk about why I needed such heavy medication to sedate me at 13. When most girls don't need to be sedated at 13. Most girls at 13, they're happy, vibrant. Some are gothic and emo, but normally that's a choice. Most 13-year-old girls are happy, especially when you're going on a vacation with your family. I was at a point where I had to be medicated with medication that was too strong for me and not meant for me because they weren't for my problems, because in this family only the adults dealt with their problems, and the adults dealt with them through screaming and drugging until it all went away. But it never all goes away because the fights are always the same. Fights are always the same, and then they get drunk and it's even more the same. Because you think you're going to get drunk and the memories are all going to go away, but they just get worse. And you get angry. This is why I spoke in my book about the entire family and not just me and not just my parents. I talked about my sisters and my grandparents and the generational abuse that my family still doesn't even see. Kathy loves to tell you that nobody in the family will talk to me, and that's true. But it's not because I did something wrong. It's because I told the truth about this family. A truth that needs to be known in order for it to be changed. If the truth had never come out about this family would continue to just keep going the way that they are. And it's not creating healthy people for the world that we live in. We have to be better as people. We have to be better to ourselves. We have to be better to our children. We have to learn to understand that the way we teach children is what they're going to learn. And unless they're shown something drastically different in those years, they're going to learn the dangerous things that you're teaching them, whether you want to be teaching them or not. I got a view of what life was supposed to be like when I was taken away by my grandmother. And she took me back and took me away and took me back, and I had to go back and forth from this life where I was loved and cared for to this life where nobody cared about me at all. And I had head lice. And everything was loud. And everything stunk. And there were always men coming in and out. And the only reason I know that that's not a normal life is because my grandmother showed me what normal life is supposed to be. It's supposed to be relaxing baths with hair care management. Sitting on the couch watching TV with mom and dad or grandparents. Playing video games. Smiling sometimes without feeling like you have to explain why you're happy because somebody's going to ask. It's such a rare thing in the home. Children shouldn't have to be raised the way that I was, the way that my siblings were, the way that my cousins were. And my aunt will speak out and tell you that I'm trash. She'll say all the horrible things about me that she needs to say to convince the world that her family is not as abusive as I claim. And a lot of people are going to believe her. But I know the truth. And I know that I told it. And I know it for the 2 years since I've released that book. Nothing has changed in my story. Nothing has changed in my memories. And nothing's going to, because it is the truth of my life. It's the truth of my family's life. And I'm not sorry that I told it. Even though it meant that my entire family will hate me forever, and I'll never have any chance to reconcile with any of them, I don't care. I am still not sorry that I told the truth about this family, because it gives a slight amount of hope that the future for this family could change.